Have you ever opened your eyes in the middle of the night, heart awake while the world is still asleep, and wondered why? It feels strange, almost like the universe is tapping you on the shoulder, calling you to notice something you can't quite name. The room is dark, the air is quiet, and for a brief moment there is nothing between you and the deepest part of yourself. This is not an accident. Waking between 3 and 5 in the morning is more than a random interruption of sleep. It is a signal, a doorway, an invitation to hear what life has been trying to tell you while the noise of the day kept you distracted. Think about the life you want, the dreams you hold close but rarely speak out loud, the changes you know you need to make but keep postponing. In daylight, those thoughts are drowned out by schedules, notifications, and endless demands. But right now, in the hush before dawn, the world gives you a rare gift: silence. No one is texting you. No one is asking for your time. No one is judging. It's only you, your heartbeat, and a quiet space wide enough for truth. Most people roll over and force themselves back to sleep. But you can choose differently. You can choose to see this as a moment of power. Science tells us the mind is most receptive when the body is rested and the world is still. Your stress hormones are low. Your subconscious is closer to the surface. This is when clarity rises like a faint light behind the horizon. The thoughts that matter about who you are, what you desire, what needs to change, become clear enough to touch. When you wake at this hour, your inner alarm clock is saying it's time to listen. This is your chance to meet yourself without distraction, to gather strength before the noise of the day begins. Stay with me, because this is only the beginning. If you learn to use these moments, you will feel something extraordinary, a calm that steadies your heart, a focus that cuts through confusion, a quiet courage that follows you long after the sun comes up. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need a special room or expensive tools. All you need is the willingness to stay awake for a few minutes and meet the silence. Those who embrace this time often find solutions to problems that seemed impossible. They see new paths forward. They begin to move through life with purpose instead of pressure. This is why you are here. This is why you should keep listening. Because there are 5 simple actions you can take in this early hour that will shift everything. Your energy, your mindset, your entire day. They are not complicated, but they are powerful. When you practice them, you will start to wake, not with anxiety, but with anticipation. You will look forward to the quiet because you will know it holds the key to your growth. So stay with me, stay awake, and discover what this mysterious hour is ready to give you. The next few minutes can open a door you didn't even know was waiting. Your eyes are open now, and the world beyond your window is still wrapped in darkness. This is the moment when most people turn away from themselves. They grab their phones, scroll without thinking, or fight to drift back into sleep. But something inside you is awake for a reason. Your body knows more than you realize. Deep in your brain, quiet signals are firing, asking you to pay attention. This is not random. It is the natural rhythm of a mind that wants to heal, a heart that wants to speak, and a life that wants to rise. Every night, your body moves through stages of rest like tides. By this hour, the deepest sleep has passed. Your nervous system has settled. Your subconscious, that hidden well of memory and intuition, floats closer to the surface. This is the space where truth lives. Science shows that during these hours, your brainwaves shift, making you more open, more receptive, more able to see connections that stay hidden in daylight. It is as if your own biology is asking you to listen. You are not broken for waking early. You are being invited to clarity. Think about the noise that fills your days, the endless notifications, the demands of work, the pull of other people's needs. When do you ever hear your own voice in all of that? When do you pause long enough to feel what you actually feel? These quiet hours strip the world down to its essence. No distractions, no masks, no roles to play, just you and the thoughts you have avoided. This is where real change begins, because change starts with awareness. And awareness only comes when you're willing to meet yourself without a shield. It can feel uncomfortable at first. The silence might seem heavy. Old fears may surface. You might notice worries about money, health, relationships, things you push aside when the sun is up. Do not run from them. This is your chance to see them clearly and decide what they mean. The mind, when met with patience, reveals solutions hidden under layers of noise. The problem that felt impossible yesterday might begin to soften now. The path you thought was blocked might show a small opening. Clarity is not a sudden shout. It is a whisper heard only in stillness. This early awakening is a reminder of your power to choose. You can turn away and sink back into the comfort of half sleep, or you can accept this invitation to rise, not just from your bed, but from the patterns that keep you small. The first choice you make after waking shapes the rest of your day. It sets a direction. It tells your mind whether you will live by reaction or by intention. Even a simple decision to sit up, to breathe, to stay present becomes a quiet declaration that you are no longer ruled by habit. Right now, you have everything you need to begin. You don't need to wait for a perfect morning or a sign from the world. You already have the sign. Your body woke you. Your mind brought you here. Take this as evidence that you are ready for more. Ready to step into the life you have been thinking about for months, maybe years. This is the hour of courage. The door is open. All you need is the will to walk through it. Feel the weight of the air around you, still and unbroken, as if the entire world is holding its breath. This is where power begins, not in loud declarations, but in quiet recognition of what you can control. The moment you decide to remain awake is the moment you claim authority over your life. It is a silent act of rebellion against everything that tries to keep you small. You are no longer drifting through patterns you did not choose. You are awake in the truest sense, and that single choice is the seed of transformation. The mind, when given this rare space, becomes a mirror. It reflects the beliefs that drive you, the habits that shape you, the desires you have buried under obligation and doubt. Most people never pause long enough to witness this. They rush from one distraction to the next, mistaking motion for progress. But you are here. You are facing yourself. That is courage. That is the first spark of freedom. Every breath you take now is a statement that you are ready to see clearly and act deliberately. Notice how your thoughts begin to surface. Some may feel heavy or sharp. Old memories might stir. Let them. You do not need to fight them or chase them away. They are simply signals guiding you to what needs attention. Psychology shows that when the brain is allowed to observe without judgment, patterns lose their power. Fears shrink when faced. Doubts dissolve when named. By staying present, you are already loosening the grip of everything that has kept you in the same cycle. This is also the hour when your inner strength can speak. Beneath the noise of fear lies a deeper voice, steady and certain. It is the voice that knows what you truly want, the one that whispers the truth when you are quiet enough to hear. You might feel it as a calm conviction or a sudden clarity. Trust it. This voice is not random. It is the wisdom of every challenge you have survived, every lesson your soul has gathered. It is the part of you that cannot be broken. From here, the choice becomes even clearer. You can use this time to build the foundation of the day ahead. Instead of letting events decide your mood, you can decide how you will meet them. Research shows that the first thoughts and actions after waking create a mental blueprint for the hours that follow. A single deliberate breath, a single grounded intention sets a chain reaction of focus and energy. This is not theory, it is biology. You are literally wiring your brain for strength and clarity with each conscious moment. Imagine what becomes possible when this practice is repeated. Each dawn becomes a rehearsal for greatness. Each quiet hour strengthens the muscle of discipline. Each decision to stay awake builds a life that reflects your highest values instead of old fears. Change rarely comes in a single leap. It comes in these steady, quiet choices made when no one is watching. And right now, you are making one of the most important choices of all: to meet the silence, to own the hour, to prepare your heart for the extraordinary day waiting just beyond the horizon. Now breathe with intention, slow, deliberate, unhurried. Inhale until your chest expands and your ribs stretch wide. Then release the air with complete surrender. Feel how the breath softens the tension you didn't realize you were holding. Each inhale gathers energy. Each exhale clears the weight of yesterday. This is not just breathing. This is you claiming ownership of your inner state. Your lungs become a bridge between body and mind, carrying a quiet message: you are alive, you are present, you are capable. Science confirms what your senses already know. Deep, conscious breathing lowers cortisol, the hormone of stress. It steadies the heart, sharpens focus, and calms the overactive chatter of the brain. When you slow your breath, your nervous system receives a signal of safety. Muscles loosen, blood pressure eases, creativity stirs awake. This is how you shift from survival to creation. You are no longer reacting to life. You are shaping it from the inside out. Each breath is a small act of defiance, against chaos and a vote for clarity. Stay with the rhythm. Count if it helps, 4 beats in, 6 beats out, or simply listen to the gentle rush of air moving through you. Notice the space between breaths, that still point where nothing is demanded and nothing is forced. In that pause, you touch something infinite, a quiet that's been waiting for you beneath every distraction. Here, there is no rush, no need to be anyone else. There is only the simple truth of existence, and it is enough. As you breathe, feel the subtle shift happening. Thoughts that felt sharp begin to soften. The mind, once restless, grows spacious. Ideas you couldn't reach just moments ago begin to flicker like distant lights. You are tuning yourself to a higher frequency, preparing your spirit for action. This is not escape, it is preparation. Athletes center themselves with breath before competition. Speakers inhale deeply before stepping on stage. Leaders pause to breathe before making decisions that change lives. You are doing the same, aligning your inner world so the outer world bends toward purpose. This practice is power disguised as simplicity. Most will overlook it, searching for something more dramatic. They will chase complicated methods while ignoring the miracle in every inhale. But you are different. You understand that greatness is built on fundamentals repeated with devotion. Each intentional breath is training for the moments when life tests you, when tension rises, when fear whispers, when chaos tries to pull you under. You will remember this feeling, the calm strength that begins here in the dark. Keep drawing air in like it carries the courage you've been waiting to claim. Release it like you're letting go of every doubt that tried to hold you back. With each cycle, you create space for clarity, for vision, for the quiet conviction that you are more than your circumstances. The world beyond your walls will wake soon, bringing noise and demands. But right now, with nothing but breath and stillness, you are building the foundation for everything you want to become. Now allow the silence around you to become part of the breath you've cultivated. Let it stretch out like a vast horizon, endless and unbroken. Listen, not for sounds, but for the presence that lives beneath them. This is the quiet most people never experience. It isn't empty. It vibrates with possibility. It holds every idea you have yet to imagine, every answer you have been chasing in the noise of daily life. When you stop trying to fill it, you begin to hear what has always been waiting. Silence is not absence. It is a living force, a gentle current that carries insight to the surface. Researchers have found that periods of deep quiet stimulate the brain as creative centers, repairing connections and awakening new pathways. In these early hours, with the world still and your mind open, you are giving yourself access to a deeper intelligence. Thoughts you struggled to organize begin to arrange themselves. Solutions you couldn't see during the rush of daylight begin to form like constellations in a dark sky. The stillness itself becomes a teacher. Stay with it even if it feels unfamiliar. Our culture trains us to avoid quiet, to keep moving, to keep consuming. But every great breakthrough begins in a pause. Music depends on the space between notes. Wisdom grows in the gaps between words. When you let silence in, you create room for understanding to unfold without force. You no longer chase clarity, you invite it. You no longer beg for direction, you recognize it. Notice how your senses sharpen as you surrender to this calm. The faint hum of the world becomes richer, more detailed. You might hear your own heartbeat, steady and patient. You might feel the subtle rhythm of your breath merge with the still air around you. You are not separate from this silence. You are part of it. And in this union, the boundaries between your inner and outer worlds begin to dissolve. The fears that once felt solid lose their shape. The doubts that crowded your thoughts shrink until they are nothing but whispers. In this space, your deepest truths rise naturally. You may remember a dream, a desire, a calling you have ignored. You may feel the quiet pull of a decision you have been afraid to make. Let these impressions come without judgment. They are signals from the part of you that already knows the way forward. You do not need to analyze them now. Just receive them. Trust that they will stay with you until the moment to act arrives. Silence like this builds a strength that cannot be shaken. It teaches you that peace is not the absence of challenge, but the presence of unshakable grounding. When the day begins and the world demands your attention, you will carry this steadiness with you. Noise will return, but it will not own you. You will move through it with a calm that others will feel but cannot name. They will see a person who stands in power no storm can disturb. And it began here, in the early hours, with nothing more than breath and the courage to listen. Let your awareness shift gently from the quiet that surrounds you to the quiet that lives within. As the outside world remains still, invite gratitude to rise like a slow dawn in your chest. Begin with the smallest details. The steady beat of your heart, the breath that continues without effort, the shelter that holds you while the night lingers. Feel each acknowledgement as a spark of warmth, subtle but undeniable, expanding with every thought. Gratitude is not a list of possessions or achievements. It is a recognition of life itself, a reminder that even in uncertainty, you are supported by forces both seen and unseen. Science shows that when you focus on what you appreciate, your brain begins to change. Neural pathways linked to joy and resilience grow stronger. Stress hormones recede. Your perspective widens, allowing you to see possibilities that fear once hid. This is not a fragile feeling. It is a powerful reprogramming of the mind. By choosing gratitude now, before the demands of the day rush in, you set the tone for everything that follows. You train your thoughts to notice abundance instead of lack, opportunity instead of obstacle. Let that feeling deepen. Picture the people who have touched your life in ways big and small, the mentor whose words stayed with you, the stranger whose kindness arrived when you needed it most, the friend who listens without judgment. Sense the web of connection that reaches beyond distance and time. You are not alone on this path. You never were. Even in moments of solitude, you have been carried by the care of others, by the wisdom of those who walk before you, by the quiet strength that lives inside you. Allow gratitude to reach into the challenges that shaped you. Think of the struggles that once felt unbearable but forged your character. Remember the disappointments that redirected you towards something better. Every setback contained a lesson, every wound a hidden seed of growth. Gratitude does not deny pain, it transforms it. It turns scars into symbols of endurance and reminds you that you have already survived what you once thought impossible. As you hold these thoughts, notice how your body responds. Shoulders loosen, breath flows easier. The tension that clung to you begins to fade. This is the physical truth of thankfulness. It frees energy once trapped in worry and regret. In this early hour, when the world is still soft and undefined, you can choose to fill it with appreciation. That choice sends ripples through the day ahead. Conversations become lighter, decisions feel clearer, obstacles shrink to their true size. Gratitude is action as much as it is feeling. It fuels the courage to give, to create, to move forward with purpose. When you begin from a place of thanks, you no longer chase meaning, you embody it. The universe meets you with opportunities that mirror the fullness you hold inside. You start to attract people and situations that resonate with your higher state. What seemed like coincidence becomes alignment. Stay with this awareness until it feels like part of your breathing. Let it settle into every cell, a quiet vow that no matter what unfolds, you will remember the abundance already present. This is how you step into the day, not as someone waiting for blessings, but as someone who knows they are already surrounded by them. Now let the gratitude you feel become a vision of what is possible. Close your eyes if you wish and picture the day unfolding exactly as you choose. See the light of morning spilling across your path, every step guided by purpose. Imagine yourself moving with calm strength, speaking with clarity, acting without hesitation. Picture the conversations that matter most going smoothly, the challenges you once feared becoming opportunities to show courage. Allow every detail to sharpen until it feels real, because your mind does not separate imagination from experience. It builds what you repeatedly believe. This practice is more than a dream, it is a powerful design. Neuroscience shows that mental rehearsal activates the same neural networks as physical action. Athletes visualize their performances to strengthen muscles they are not yet using. Leaders envision success to prime their decisions before a single word is spoken. When you create this picture of your day, you prepare every cell of your body to move toward it. You are writing the script of your own reality before the first line is spoken. See yourself handling obstacles with steady grace. If a sudden difficulty appears, watch how you stay centered. If an unexpected opportunity arises, imagine yourself stepping forward without doubt. Feel the confidence of a mind that has already walked the path and knows where to place each foot. This is not fantasy, it is strategy. By rehearsing courage, you train your nervous system to respond with strength instead of fear when life tests you. Let the vision extend beyond a single day. Picture the bigger life you are building, the long arc of purpose that pulls you forward. See the projects completed, the relationships deepened, the health and vitality glowing through every moment. Feel the satisfaction of goals achieved, not as distant wishes, but as natural outcomes of who you are becoming. Your subconscious listens to these images. It begins to rearrange habits, thoughts, and even opportunities to align with what you have dared to imagine. Notice the emotions rising as you hold this picture: excitement, confidence, a quiet certainty that you are capable of more than you once believed. Let those feelings anchor the vision. Emotion is the glue that tells your brain this future is important. The stronger the feeling, the more powerfully your mind commits to making it real. You are not merely hoping for change, you are programming it into the deepest layers of your being. As you breathe into this mental landscape, remind yourself that you do not need every detail to be perfect. Life will bring its own variations. What matters is the energy you are sending ahead, the readiness you are cultivating. When morning light finally arrives, you will step into a reality you have already lived and thought. Challenges will feel familiar because you have faced them here. Opportunities will feel natural because you have welcomed them here. Stay in this vision until it feels like truth. Let it blend with the gratitude still warm in your chest and the quiet strength of your breath. This is how transformation begins, not with frantic effort, but with a mind so clear and focused that the world cannot help but follow its lead. Feel the energy you have summoned gathering strength in your body, a quiet current that now asks to be expressed through movement. Let your muscles awaken with intention. Stretch your arms wide until you feel the length of your spine. Roll your shoulders back and sense the subtle release of tension. Allow each motion to be slow, deliberate, and aware, as though you are greeting every cell that carried you through the night. Movement is more than exercise. It is a declaration that you are alive, that you honor the vessel that holds your spirit. As you move, notice how the blood begins to flow with greater force, delivering oxygen to every corner of your being. Your heart responds with a steady rhythm, a drumbeat of vitality. This is not about intensity or speed. It is about awakening the system that will carry you through the day ahead. A gentle stretch, a few steps across the room, a graceful bend of the torso. Each action tells your body the night has passed and a new chapter has begun. You are signaling to every organ, every muscle, that it is time to rise. Science affirms what you feel. Even a few minutes of mindful motion releases endorphins, the natural chemicals of clarity and optimism. It activates the lymphatic system, helping your body clear what it no longer needs. Your mind sharpens, your senses heighten, your spirit lifts. The simple choice to move breaks the inertia of sleep and transforms potential into momentum. This is how you carry the energy of stillness into the active world, merging calm and strength into one state of being. As your body awakens, match the movement with awareness. Notice the ground beneath your feet, solid and dependable. Feel the stretch of each muscle, the whisper of air across your skin. This attention anchors you in the present, pulling you fully into the life you are shaping. You are no longer a silent observer of your thoughts. You are an active creator, guiding both mind and body toward alignment. Let every motion become a symbol of what you are ready to embrace. When you extend your arms, imagine reaching for the opportunities waiting beyond fear. When you stand tall, sense the confidence rising from your core. When you inhale deeply as you move, feel courage filling the spaces that once held doubt. Your body is speaking a language older than words, telling the universe you are prepared to meet the day with power and grace. You do not need elaborate routines or perfect technique. What matters is the intention behind each movement, the way you connect motion with purpose. A slow walk around the room can become a quiet celebration of strength. A gentle stretch can be a promise to honor your health and vitality. These small actions ripple outward, influencing your choices long after this hour has passed. Continue until you sense the shift, that moment when energy flows freely and the boundary between stillness and action disappears. Feel how different the world seems when you inhabit it fully. Breath steady, muscles alive, mind clear. This is the union of quiet preparation and deliberate momentum. This is how you step from the mystery of the early hour into the brilliance of a day that you have already claimed as your own. Feel the surge of vitality moving through you now, a current awakened by breath, silence, gratitude, vision, and motion. This energy is not fleeting. It is the natural state of a mind and body aligned. Let it settle into your core like a quiet flame that will guide you long after the morning fades. You have crossed a threshold few are willing to approach. While most people remain asleep, you have chosen to meet yourself, to listen, to act. That decision alone carries power beyond measure. Notice how your thoughts feel lighter, sharper, more spacious. The noise that once filled your mind is thin, leaving only clarity. This is the moment to gather everything you have awakened and weave it into intention. Decide how you will carry this strength into the hours ahead, not with frantic lists or rigid plans, but with a focused presence that shapes every action. Intention is the invisible architecture of a meaningful life. It gives direction to your energy, turning random events into deliberate steps. Take a slow breath and identify the qualities you want to embody today. Perhaps it is courage, the readiness to face what you once avoided. Perhaps it is patience, the grace to move steadily even when the world demands haste. Perhaps it is joy, a choice to see beauty in places others overlook. Whatever rises first is already part of you. Speak it silently, as if planting a seed deep within your being. The mind listens when words are clear, and the body follows where the mind leads. Understand that intention is more than a private wish. It is a commitment you make to yourself and to life itself. Psychology shows that when you name a clear purpose, your brain begins to filter information differently. Opportunities aligned with your aim become more visible. Distractions lose their pull. You are training your attention to serve what matters most. This is how extraordinary days are built, one conscious decision at a time, starting in the quiet hours before sunrise. Feel the confidence that comes with this awareness. You are not at the mercy of circumstance. You are a participant in the unfolding of your own story. Challenges will arise, but they will meet a mind already prepared, a heart already steady. The work you have done in these early hours is a shield against chaos. It will carry you through unexpected turns with a calm that others will sense but not understand. Let this understanding anchor you as the first hints of daylight begin to touch the world. Soon the rhythm of ordinary life will return, voices, responsibilities, demands, but you will enter it differently. You have built a foundation of presence and purpose. You have tuned your body and mind to a frequency of strength. Nothing outside of you can erase the inner state you have created. Stand for a moment and feel the quiet power you now hold. It is the same power that will help you speak with honesty, work with focus, love without fear. You have taken the stillness of the night and turned it into a force for action. Carry it forward. Let every step you take today remind you that you began in silence and emerged in strength. Carry this inner strength as you begin to meet the world, and let it remind you that your past does not define the path ahead. The quiet of the early hour has revealed a deeper truth. You are not the sum of old habits or the echoes of yesterday's doubts. Every breath you take now is proof that the present moment holds more power than any story you once believed. You are not bound to repeat what has already been lived. You are free to create something new, starting from the stillness you have just cultivated. Old patterns will try to call you back. Memories of failure, voices of limitation, fears that have followed you for years may rise again when the day begins to unfold. But you are not the person who first carried those fears. You have seen the strength that comes from silence and deliberate action. You have felt the calm that exists beneath every storm. These experiences cannot be undone. They live in you now as evidence of what is possible when you choose presence over reaction. Notice how temptation often hides behind comfort. It whispers that change can wait, that it is safer to stay as you are. Yet comfort is not peace. It is a slow erosion of the spirit, a quiet agreement to remain small. You have already broken that agreement by rising in the dark, by breathing with intention, by moving when the world slept. That single choice has shattered the illusion that you are powerless. You know now that strength is a decision repeated until it becomes identity. Allow this understanding to settle deeper with every breath. The mind will test you, offering reasons to doubt, but you have witnessed the truth of your own capacity. Neuroscience tells us that the brain reshapes itself through repeated focus. Each moment you return to presence, each time you choose courage over fear, you carve new pathways. What begins as effort soon becomes instinct. This is how transformation takes root, not through grand gestures, but through quiet persistence. Remember that letting go of the past does not mean erasing it. It means seeing it clearly and allowing it to inform, not imprison. The challenges you have faced are not weights to carry, but lessons that have forged resilience. Even the mistakes were teachers, shaping the insight you hold today. Honor them, but refuse to be ruled by them. You are not your failures, and you are not the labels others have given you. You are the awareness that watches, the strength that decides, the presence that acts. As daylight edges closer, feel the expanding sense of possibility. Each second of this morning has proven that change is not a distant hope, but a living reality. You have already shifted. You have already begun. The same discipline that brought you here can guide you through every decision ahead. When doubts surface, return to the memory of this quiet power. Let it remind you that your future is built from choices, not chances. Stand in this truth and claim it. The hours you have spent awakening have prepared you to meet the day with unshakable resolve. You are no longer defined by what was. You are defined by what you choose now, and the next choice is yours. Feel the clarity of this new freedom expanding as the first light begins to soften the edges of night. You stand between darkness and day, aware that every breath now carries the power of intention. Purpose is no longer a distant concept. It is alive within you, calling for expression. Let that call grow stronger until it becomes impossible to ignore. This is the quiet revelation many spend years searching for, the understanding that meaning is not something you find, but something you create through presence and deliberate action. Consider the force that drives you when all distractions fall away. Beneath ambition, beyond routine, there is a deeper impulse, the desire to contribute, to build, to leave a mark that outlives the fleeting concerns of yesterday. Psychologists call it a sense of purpose, the compass that gives life coherence and resilience. People who cultivate it live longer, recover faster, and face challenges with unshakable resolve. You are touching that truth right now. The stillness of these hours has stripped away the noise so you can hear it clearly. Purpose does not need to be grand to be powerful. It begins with the choice to live each day awake. It might take form in the way you speak to those you love, the work you dedicate yourself to, the quiet kindness you offer a stranger. What matters is the alignment between what you value and how you act. Each small action becomes a thread in the larger fabric of meaning. You are not waiting for life to hand you significance. You are weaving it moment by moment, decision by decision. Let your mind picture the areas of life where this alignment is strongest. Notice how those moments feel effortless, how energy flows freely when you are connected to something larger than comfort or fear. Then, gently turn your attention to the places where that connection feels weak, not with judgment, but with curiosity. These are the spaces inviting your growth. They are signals, not failures. They show you where the next act of courage belongs. Breathe into this awareness and allow it to guide you. Purpose grows when it is fed by consistent action. The quiet practices of this morning, breathing, listening, moving, visualizing, are not isolated rituals. They are foundations. They train the mind to stay steady, to return again and again to what matters. When the day becomes loud and demands compete for your attention, this foundation will keep you centered. You will not be pulled off course by the urgency of others because you have already set your own direction. Feel the strength that rises from this clarity. It is not a burst of excitement that fades with the morning. It is a steady flame that can sustain you through uncertainty. Even as life presents unexpected turns, this inner compass will remain. The purpose you claim now is a source of endurance no obstacle can erase. It is the quiet confidence that tells you, even in chaos, why you are here and what you are meant to give. Stand in this understanding until it feels unshakable. You are not drifting through hours, you are shaping them. You are not waiting for meaning, you are creating it. Every choice that follows this dawn carries the imprint of this moment, a moment when you chose to listen, to awaken, and to live with intention so strong that the day itself will bend toward it. Now let the awareness of your purpose ignite a deeper courage, the kind that does not depend on perfect conditions or immediate results. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward even while fear speaks. It is the quiet strength to act when comfort whispers for you to stay still. Every step you take beyond that whisper rewires your mind, teaching it that growth is more powerful than hesitation. The science of resilience shows that repeated acts of bravery, no matter how small, train the brain to associate action with possibility instead of danger. You are building that strength now, breath by breath. Think of the moments when fear has tried to shape your choices. It comes in many forms: self-doubt, the memory of failure, the heavy weight of what others might think. Yet those memories are only echoes. They hold no authority unless you feed them. You have already proven in the quiet hours of the morning that you can act beyond their reach. You woke when the world slept. You listened to the call of something greater than comfort. That is courage. That is proof. Let this proof sink into your body. Feel how it changes the way you stand, the way you breathe, the way you see what is possible. When you choose courage, you do more than face fear. You expand the boundaries of who you believe yourself to be. Each time you lean forward instead of shrinking back, your identity shifts from someone who dreams to someone who does. The past may have taught you to stay small, but the present offers you a chance to rewrite that lesson with action. Understand that courage is not loud. It is not always a dramatic leap. Often it is a quiet, consistent choice to keep showing up. It is sending the message, making the call, taking the first step toward a goal, even when you cannot see the finish line. It is standing firm in your values when others question them. It is speaking truth when silence feels safer. These choices, repeated, create a life that reflects strength instead of fear. As you hold this realization, feel the shift inside you. The heart steadies, the mind clears, the energy of possibility fills the space where doubt once lived. You begin to see that every challenge is an invitation to grow, not a barrier to stop you. The world does not reward hesitation. It rewards the one who moves despite uncertainty. And each movement, however small, feeds a self-belief that becomes unbreakable. Breathe deeply and imagine the day ahead. Somewhere in its unfolding, you will meet a moment that asks for courage. It might arrive as an unexpected decision, a conversation you have delayed, an opportunity disguised as risk. When it comes, remember this feeling. Remember that courage is not about knowing the outcome. It is about trusting the strength you have already proven to yourself. It is about acting from the deep, knowing that growth lives on the other side of fear. You are ready for that moment. The stillness of the early hours has prepared you. The clarity of purpose has anchored you. The courage you carry now is not fleeting. It is a force within you that will rise again and again, shaping every choice, every step, every victory that follows. Courage begins the transformation, but it is discipline that keeps it alive when the first surge of motivation fades. Discipline is the bridge between intention and reality, the silent companion of every lasting change. It is not a rigid cage, it is the structure that gives your freedom shape. Without it, even the brightest vision dissolves into wishful thinking. With it, even the smallest action accumulates into unstoppable momentum. The early hours you have embraced are not an accident. They are the foundation of a life guided by deliberate choice instead of fleeting desire. Feel the steadiness that discipline brings. It is a rhythm, a heartbeat that carries you through distraction and doubt. When the world tempts you with shortcuts or easy escapes, discipline reminds you of the deeper reward, progress that no one can take away. Psychology shows that habits are built through repetition, that neurons fire together until action becomes identity. Each time you rise, when it would be easier to remain still, you reinforce a pattern that declares who you are. You are not waiting for perfect conditions, you are creating them through consistency. Discipline is an act of self-respect. It is the quiet way you prove to yourself that your word matters, that your goals deserve more than casual effort. Many confuse it with punishment, but true discipline is a gift. It frees you from the chaos of impulse and aligns your daily steps with the future you desire. It whispers that comfort will not fulfill you, that the satisfaction of mastery is worth every moment of practice. When you hold to it, you no longer chase motivation, because action itself becomes the source of energy. Remember that discipline thrives in clarity. You have already defined your purpose, awakened courage, and tasted the strength of your own will. Now you give these qualities a framework. You choose the habits that honor them. You design mornings that set the tone, movements that keep the body strong, words that nourish the mind. Each choice is a promise kept, a brick laid in the foundation of a life that cannot be shaken by circumstance. The discipline is not in grand gestures, but in the quiet, repeated acts that no one else may see. Notice how this steadiness transforms the way you meet challenges. Obstacles that once felt overwhelming become steps in a larger pattern. Setbacks become lessons, not verdicts. Because discipline does not demand perfection, it demands persistence. Even when you stumble, you return. Even when you doubt, you continue. This return, again and again, is where real strength is forged. It is how ordinary days become extraordinary results. Feel the pride that comes from this commitment. It is not loud or boastful. It is the deep confidence of someone who knows they can rely on themselves. This is the power that allows you to build anything, a career, a body of work, a legacy, because you no longer depend on fleeting inspiration. You are guided by a force stronger than mood or circumstance. You are guided by choice. Carry this understanding into every breath. Discipline is not a burden you drag. It is the quiet engine that carries you toward the life you have envisioned in these early hours. With every consistent act, you shape your destiny with deliberate hands. You are no longer at the mercy of chance. You are proving, moment by moment, that your future belongs to the one who shows up again and again until vision becomes reality. Discipline lays the groundwork, but presence gives it meaning. Presence is the art of inhabiting this exact moment without drifting into the shadows of regret or the illusions of tomorrow. It is a state where every breath is felt, every sound is noticed, every thought is observed without being carried away. When you live present, you no longer chase time, you become part of it. The mind stops racing between past mistakes and future worries, and in that stillness, power gathers. You are no longer pulled by what has been or what might be. You stand fully in what is. This is not an escape from reality. It is the purest form of engagement. Studies in mindfulness show that presence sharpens focus, lowers stress, and strengthens emotional balance. It trains the brain to respond instead of react, to choose instead of drift. When you are fully here, even ordinary moments carry a quiet intensity. The sound of your own heartbeat becomes a reminder of life's fragile brilliance. The movement of air across your skin becomes a celebration of being alive. Every detail you once overlooked turns into a gateway to gratitude. Presence is not something you wait to feel. It is something you practice. It begins with a breath. Inhale and know that you are breathing. Exhale and know that you are letting go. Thoughts will come, lists of tasks, fragments of memories, sudden worries, but you are not those thoughts. You are the one who notices them. With each breath, you return to that awareness. This is the training ground for a mind that cannot be shaken by chaos. It is here that clarity is born. When you bring presence into action, discipline becomes effortless. Work stops feeling like a battle because you are no longer wrestling with distraction. Conversations deepen because you are not rehearsing responses, you are listening. Creativity flourishes because your mind is no longer cluttered with noise. Presence does not slow your life down. It allows you to live at full speed with complete control, like a musician who knows every note of a complex song, yet plays with freedom. Feel how this changes the way you meet each challenge. Instead of rushing toward the next goal, you move with deliberate calm. Instead of fearing outcomes, you give your best in the moment and let the result unfold. This is not passivity, it is mastery. It is the ability to give all of yourself to the present task without being broken by its outcome. Athletes call it the zone. Artists call it flow. It is the same state that has guided every great achievement, and it is available to you now. Presence also deepens connection with yourself, with others, with life itself. When you truly see the person in front of you, when you truly hear the unspoken message behind their words, you create a space where understanding can grow. Relationships transform because they are no longer built on assumptions, but on authentic attention. Even your relationship with yourself softens. Judgment fades. Compassion grows. You recognize that you are not a collection of past mistakes or future ambitions. You are a living, breathing awareness capable of infinite renewal. Carry this awareness like a silent flame. Let it illuminate each decision, each conversation, each quiet breath. Presence turns every moment into an act of creation. It is where discipline, courage, and purpose merge into a life that is not only accomplished, but deeply alive.